The Apollo program was established for the sole purpose of getting the first man on the moon.
Apollo 1 was led by Commander Virgil Gus Grissom, with the assistance of Edward White and Roger Chaffee.
During a simulation test on the launch pad, a fire started inside the capsule. The entire Apollo crew perished in this accident, leaving the Apollo program searching for answers.
Colonel, at the risk of being gruesome, we've heard about the fire from everyone who was there. Everyone except the astronauts themselves, of course. Can you tell us what they went through? What it was like for them?
I can only tell you what we know, or at least what we think we know. When it happened, they were just waiting for the test to resume. They wouldn't have seen the spark that started the fire because it was behind a panel door down below Gus's feet. Because of the oxygen, the spark was able to jump out to the nylon netting under the seats. Gus probably saw it first because he was closest to him.
Fire! We got a fire in the cockpit!
The procedure would have had Gus push down Ed's headrest so that Ed could start turning the latching. By now, the temperature and pressure were astronomical.
Let's get out!
Now, it just took me a minute or more to tell you all that. In actuality, from the first mention of the fire to the rupture of the hull, only 15 seconds went by.
After the accident, NASA began a thorough investigation as to what caused the fire. The investigation revealed that the fire was started by a short circuit in the electrical system, which ignited combustible materials. Combined with the pure oxygen environment and pressure, the fire sealed the crew in.
During the investigation, they found that it could have been prevented, leading to alterations in future rockets.
The Apollo 1 tragedy did not deter NASA from trying to go to the moon. NASA continued with the Apollo program, including Apollo 13.
Apollo 13 was commanded by James A. Lovell, John Jack Swigert, and Fred W. Hayes.
Their mission was to be the first spacecraft to land on the moon, but due to a short circuit that resulted in a loss of an oxygen tank, they were unable to accomplish it. The crew now faced the possibility of not coming home at all.
After overcoming many obstacles, they finally returned to Earth safely on April 17, 1970. They were rescued off the coast of Australia.
The Apollo program came to an end, but the shuttle program was just beginning. Challenger was a part of the Space Shuttle program. Previous missions had been successful without any complications.
January 28, 1986 was the fateful day Challenger launched for its last time. Its mission was to take satellites into space.
The Challenger's crew consisted of 7 people, including the first teacher to go to space, Krista McAuliffe.
Down now at 94%. Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%. We'll throttle down to 65% shortly. 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Downrange distance 3 nautical miles. Engines throttling up. 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Roger, go to throttle up.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
A seal on a fuel tank called an O-ring was the cause of the disaster. The O-rings had not been tested in cold weather. As the O-ring was exposed to the cold atmosphere, it had a hole ripped in it, leaking gas. This gas ignited, which caused the explosion.
NASA spent around $20 million to retrieve the crew and much of the debris from the ocean floor. Still, pieces of the shuttle continued to wash up on shore.
NASA used the remaining parts to reconstruct the shuttle in order to discover what had happened.
A memorial was dedicated to those astronauts involved in the Challenger accident. In memory of Krista McAuliffe, the school at which she taught was renamed after her.
These space tragedies were some of the worst in history. However, due to these disasters, engineers learned much about space travel. This knowledge helped man go to the moon and made space travel possible.